Hello friends, and welcome to this video on neutral English accent where we will practice the blur and the whir sound. So let's start. So blur, we have few reading paragraphs practice. The first one is Goblin in a Blizzard. The movie was about a blue goblin. He was in trouble because he got caught in a blizzard. The blizzard was so bad it was like the goblin had a blindfold on over his eyes. This was a problem for the goblin because he was not used to cold weather. After stumbling around in the blizzard, the goblin saw a cabin. Inside he found a blanket, made a fire, and cooked some scrambled eggs. He had a blister on his shoulder blade from the backpack he was carrying, but he was glad that he found the cabin. After nibbling on his scrambled eggs, he fell asleep. Next is the claw practice. So whether it's a CL or a KL, the sound that comes is claw, so clamming. The ocean is a great place to catch clams. Today Clay woke up at 5 o'clock, grabbed his fishing clothes and blue belt buckle from the closet and ate a pickle for breakfast. He hopped on his bike and started cycling. He only lived a mile from the ocean. When he got to the beach he noticed a nickel on the ground and picked it up. Surprisingly it was clean. As he walked closer to the shore he saw a pile of clothes, a gold necklace, an ankle bracelet, and a snorkel. He looked out in the ocean and saw his friend Chloe. She was swimming in the ocean. "Hi, Chloe," he said. "Hi, Clay. What are you doing?" she replied. "I came to fish for clams," he said. "That is called clamming," Chloe explained. "Really?" said Clay. "Didn't know that. I guess you're never too old to learn something," he said. "Let's go clamming then." The two friends grabbed the clam cages, walked to Clay's favorite spot and started clamming. Climbing Mount Clap. Looking over his shoulder, Clark could see for miles. The sky was clear and blue. He had climbed 8,000 feet and was only halfway to the top of Mount Clap. His knuckles were white, his hands were cold. The higher he climbed, the colder he got. He checked his map to make sure he wasn't climbing in circles. He had seen many animals, including a duck with her ducklings. He hoped he would be able to climb to the top of the mountain where he would see everything. During his climb he had rubbed his ankle on a prickly plant and it scratched him really bad. Clark wanted to be brave and so he kept on climbing. He felt like making the climb would be worth the view and the memories. "My friends in the book club won't believe that I did this," he thought. "We have only talked about doing this, but no one ever wanted to do it." Clark wanted to reach his goal even if his ankle was in a little pain. He turned back towards the mountain and kept climbing. Next is the glur practice. So glur, Glenn's best friend. Glenn was glad he had built his igloo by Glacier Pass. From there he could watch eagles fly all day long. Glenn studied eagle feathers. He did this with a magnifying glass that was part of a special toolkit. He had to be careful that his beagle Gloria didn't bark too much or it would scare the eagles away. Glenn was glad that Gloria was with him, though she was a good beagle. She would wiggle at night and he was trying to sleep, but they would snuggle and Gloria would keep him warm. Sometimes Gloria would lick his nose and make him giggle. Glenn was glad that Gloria was with him. Amazing juggler. I have seen a man on Glendon Street who likes to juggle bagels. Really, it doesn't matter what type or flavor of bagel either. It could be an old bagel, a new bagel, a large bagel, or a small bagel. One day I was passing by and watching him. He looked at me and said, "I can juggle your sunglasses." "What?" I said. "Let me see your sunglasses," he replied. I gave my sunglasses to him and said, "Be careful, those are new." "Don't worry," he said. Then he did something I would have never thought. He put on some boxing gloves, grabbed my sunglasses and some bagels and began to juggle all of them. It was amazing. "I am so good at juggling. It should be illegal," he said. I told him he could entertain people around the globe with his talent for juggling. I was so impressed with his juggling skills, I invited him to lunch. He accepted and we went and had a bite to eat together. Fleur reading paragraphs practice. So Fleur, covered in butterflies. It was a normal morning for Floyd. He sat on his tile floor and ate a bowl of cornflakes, watered his sunflowers, and played a song on his flute. He was careful not to give his sunflowers too much water. Too much water can be harmful to sunflowers. He really liked his sunflowers. They made him cheerful. Right after he watered the sunflowers, he watched as a butterfly landed on them. Then another, then another. Pretty soon his sunflowers were covered with butterflies. He had never seen anything so colorful before. He took a picture of his flowers covered in butterflies. Later he put it in a picture frame on the wall next to his flute. He always wanted to remember that day. Special flippers is the next one. Wearing flippers won't help you float, but they will help you swim better. Flynn was a scuba diving teacher who took good care of his flippers. They were special, they were camouflage. He had bought them at a special store after his other pair gave him a painful blister. They were the best flippers he ever had. He was excited to use them on a scuba diving trip in the morning. The night before his trip he was flossing after some cauliflower had got stuck in his teeth at dinner. While flossing he remembered that he needed to pack a flashlight and his flip-flops for the trip. Without his flashlight the trip would not be as fun because he wouldn't be able to see all of the sea flowers under the water. Without his flip-flops he wouldn't be able to walk anywhere off the boat. Phew, I'm glad I remembered those, he thought after he finished flossing. He laid down and dreamed about his adventure in the morning. Next is the plur practice, so planet project. Danny made a model of the planets for his science project. He complained at first after he was given the assignment, but as he explored the planets, they became much more interesting to him. He made his planet model using paper mache, staples, and some old plugs. He used pliers and wire to connect them all together. He wrote a plus sign on the 3 planets that were closest to the sun. He painted 4 of the planets purple. He painted the rest of them green. He wanted people to appreciate the uniqueness of his project. He didn't play after school for 2 weeks in order to complete it. After he finished presenting the project, Tim's class applauded and he was pleased. This went so well, I'll try not to complain the next time I get assigned a project, he thought. First airplane ride. It was Tammy's first time on an airplane. She was nervous. A couple of other people she had talked to said they were nervous too. She had so many questions about flying. Were there stoplights in the sky? Were clouds more purple if you fly higher? Could we explore space in this airplane? She pulled an apple from her backpack and started eating. A stewardess asked her if she wanted some apple juice. "Yes, please," she said. Eating the apple was making her less nervous. She began listening to the music she had uploaded to her music player. One song was about a maple tree. It made her smile. "You have nice dimples," a girl sitting next to her said. "Thank you," said Tammy. "I left my music player on the fireplace at my house," the girl said. "We can share if you want," said Tammy, "as long as you don't mind listening to songs about maple trees." The two of them laughed, listened to the music, and enjoyed the airplane ride together. Next is so dog sled racing. I have a dog named Sylvester, but we call him Sly for short. When we wrestle, he likes to lick and slobber on me. We compete in dog sled races. Dog sled races are hard work and we don't sleep much when we train for them. We don't go slow, we hustle for many days. Some days it is hard not to fall asleep on the trail. I talk to Sly through words and whistling. Dog sled races can be dangerous. One time we almost got caught in a mudslide, and another time I pulled a muscle and needed help from another dog sled team. Sly and I help each other though he's my best friend. Fine pajamas. My friend Sloan sleeps a lot. He told me about a crazy dream he had yesterday. In the dream, he was a spy. He was being chased by bad guys on sleds down a ski slope. He had taken an expensive bracelet and destroyed the bad guys' castle. The bad guys were launching missiles at him and trying to slow him down. When Sloan reached for something to defend himself, all he could find was a slingshot. He fired rocks from the slingshot as fast as he could. The bad guys began to laugh at him, not because of the slingshot, but because Sloan was doing all of this wearing pajamas and pink bunny slippers. Sloan didn't care, though. He remembered he had a special capsule that could help him. He reached up his sleeve, grabbed the capsule, and ate it. A few seconds after he ate the capsule, Sloan was invisible. The bad guys couldn't see him. Just as he was about to escape, he woke up. It was a funny dream. Alright, so the next sound practice is the W sound, W. So the lips get round, W. Tongue will not touch any part of the mouth, so never say W. This is not a W sound, it's a W sound. I have to round my lips, W. So let's do the practice. W in the initial, middle, and ending. Water, war, when, warm, wait, flow, blow, one, walk, watch, warm, wash, wear, web, weed, weak, wide, wife, wild, wing, awkward, choir, queen, cakewalk, wisdom teeth, woodpecker, winter, always, awake, candle wax, reward, hardware, Hawaii, driveway, highway, Hollywood, microwave, Milky Way, housework, jaguar, kiwi, mouthwash, pathway, sandwich, spiderweb, tidal wave, unaware, worldwide, liquid, quark, walkway, quiet, equal, likewise, frequent, quarter, quit, require, waffle, wagon, wander, wallpaper, watercolors, water lily, watermelon, wallet, walnut, waterfall, water skiing, wonderful, warning, washer, well-mannered, wedding, weather, weekend, welcome, wire cutter. Let's practice few sentences. We have dinner at 6 p.m. Be careful, the floor is wet. Please watch your step. I don't feel well. I was at the concert. We weren't angry. We went shopping yesterday. I worked there for many years. I like to eat waffles and breakfast. The dog is sitting in the wagon. They will go for a long walk. He puts money in his wallet. My clothes smell good after I wash it in the washer. I like your watch. Is it new? Cold water is refreshing on a hot day. They said the weather will be cold today. The web is between the branches. The wedding bells are ringing. The wind was so strong it broke her umbrella. They left the window open to get some fresh air. The butterfly has orange, black, and purple wings. All we could hear was a wolf howling. Our world is part of the solar system. She was wide awake as she had a good night's sleep. The award was hanging on the wall. They went on vacation to Hawaii. The pathway leads through the park. Reheat your food in the microwave. Mouthwash makes your mouth feel fresh. They do housework on every Saturday. Let's do some reading paragraphs practice. The first one is Water World. William waited for his dad to wash the car. It was the last thing on their to-do list before they went to Water World. Water World was the biggest water park in Wyoming, and they were going to go there for 2 days. William woke up extra early to help wash the car in hopes that he and his family would be able to leave that afternoon. He was wide awake at 4 in the morning. His dad, however, was not. William ran into his parents' bedroom and said, get up, let's go wash the car." William, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. We are not washing the car this early. You need to wait, or else we will not go to the water world. But Dad, said William, no buts. Why don't you go start making some waffles and I'll be out in a minute, his dad said. William walked out in the kitchen, still wearing his wolf pajamas. He grabbed the waffle maker and some walnuts and prepared to make the waffles. He looked out the window at their family's dirty car parked in the driveway and wanted to go wash it himself. He and his dad planned to wash the car over the weekend, but the water company had turned their water off to fix something. He continued working on the waffles and wondered when his dad would get up and be ready to wash the car. Just then his dad raced out of the hall, unplugged the waffle maker, picked him up, and ran outside. Let's get this baby washed, his dad said, pointing to the car. The two of them started working and talking about all of the fun things they would do when they visited Water World. Next is Love to Drive. Be careful driving, called Wayne's mom. Wayne had just received his driver's license and could drive all by himself. Along with learning to drive, his parents told him to always drive in good weather, drive when he was completely awake, and to keep the windshield washed and clear. They joked with him about not driving on the sidewalk or sticking his head out of the window when driving. Wayne wanted to drive everywhere. He didn't care if it was on the driveway, the highway, or the raceway. All he cared about was being behind the wheel. If I always had money in my wallet, I would drive all over the world, he thought. Wayne also wished the car had wings, so when he came to water he needed to cross, he could simply fly over it. He wanted to go on a trip right then, but remembered two things. He didn't have money in his wallet and he needed to exchange their new microwave at the store. It was okay though, because he was driving, even if it was only to the store and back. He rolled down the window and slowed down as he waved to the Waldens. The Waldens were close family friends. The two families watched out for each other since Wayne had been born. I'm going to the store. Would you like me to pick anything up for you while I'm there? He asked. Yes, that would be great, said Mrs. Walden. I need 1 kiwi, a bag of buffalo wings, and some bottled water. You got it. I'll be back in 20 minutes, he said. Wayne was happy that he could help, and it made driving that much better. So thank you friends for watching this video. Keep watching more English vocabulary videos and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.